Now, the Islamic State group is now claiming responsibility for this attack. What more do we know about that?
Actually, yes, of course, they claimed responsibility a few hours after the attacker was declared dead by French authorities, and they say in this claim that he's a soldier. He was a soldier of the Islamic State, and he acted upon the calls of the Islamic State to attack Western citizens of the countries of the coalition. Okay, so it's very irregular in this kind of attacks to claim it this way. It's even the same template that they use each and every time, which shows us in a way that he doesn't have organizational links with the group, meaning that he didn't have a budget to make this attack. He wasn't helped, for example, in getting arms, and he didn't benefit from a real web or sleeping cells. And what confirms this analysis is the fact that even the gun that he had is a very old gun from 1892. It's an 8mm gun. Even the ammunition is very hard to get. It's something of history fans who collect this kind of weapons. It's a historic piece, actually. It's not a real weapon. Knowing that by being in Strasbourg, he could have, by crossing the border or by going to Belgium, maybe he could have purchased Kalashnikovs or more lethal weapons. So those are indications that, yes, of course, he acted in their name. And what confirms also is that our colleagues from Le Parisien, which is a French journal, said that even in 2008, he had bin Laden's photo in his cell in the prison. What he told the taxi cab, he told them, "I'm doing this on behalf of my brothers in Syria," and the fact that he was fiché S for radicalization issues.
Now, we know that the Islamic State group has lost vast swathes of territory in Iraq and Syria, but the group is still clearly able to wreak havoc in the West. Is there some sort of causality here?
There's no causality between losing ground on the theater in Syria and Iraq, and their ability to motivate people to act for them here in the West. And we are seeing it since years. Just after they lost Mosul, we had here in France the attack of Trèbes, where gendarmerie, the equivalent of military police, was killed by one of these so-called soldiers of the Islamic State, and everybody was astonished at how come they are losing on the ground and still motivating people. But you have to know that it's not the first time they lose ground in Iraq and Syria. It's the second time since 2006 that they are said almost dead. And today you have to realize something, that yes, they are losing out in Syria and Iraq, but they are expanding everywhere else in the world. They are present in Nigeria, they are present in Somalia, in Egypt, in the Sinai, Tunisia, Afghanistan, the Philippines. So this jihadi ideology is still very alive for jihadi sympathizers acting upon or for the group. And one more thing also, despite the fact that we had 3 dead and 12 wounded, it's still a low-level attack, but the economic impact is just huge. And they theorized all this, and even they made studies about the attack in Brussels, and the economic impact of the attack.
Wassim Nasr, France 24's jihad movement expert here in France 24. Thank you very much indeed.